Hello everyone, my name is Kim Hallett and I'm going to show you a handy little human factors evaluation technique called cognitive walkthroughs. They're really handy for walk-up and use technology like ATMs or for making mobile apps where people aren't going to want to take a lot of time to learn your system before they use it. So what is a cognitive walkthrough? Basically you have a bunch of people who get together called evaluators. Usually this is the design team working on the interface. And you go through a list of user tasks that your users are going to want to do. So an example of some user tasks, we're going to take a guy standing in front of an ATM and we're going to say he's going to want to withdraw $60 from his checking account, check the amount of money that he has in his savings account, and deposit a check. And for each of these, we're going to have to make a list of actions that he has to do to get to that goal. So for withdraw $60 from his checking account, we're going to say he's going to need to insert a debit card, enter a PIN number, and tap $60 on a screen. So let's play this out in a scenario. So we have our ATM interface on the left there, and we're going to start with inserting a debit card. We're going to ask 4 questions for each action. The first is, will the user form their goal? And we're going to assume that our user has received his debit card in the mail that says go to your nearest ATM to activate your card. So we'll say yes, he has the goal of inserting his debit card. And then is the user going to be able to locate the correct command or button? On this interface we're going to say no. He's going to have some trouble because even though the interface has a screen, it doesn't really say insert your debit card to start. It just really has these green lights around the slot, which might be helpful for somebody who's experienced with this, but for a new user it might cause some problems. So we'll mark no and mark down that there's an issue, and we'll look at it later and come up with a fix for it. But moving on to the next question, will the user know that this is the command that will execute the action that they want? And we'll say yes. And then finally, will the user understand the system feedback? And since the screen changes once you insert your debit card, we'll say yeah, they'll be able to understand it. And then for entering their PIN number, again, the same 4 questions. Will the user form this goal? We'll say yes, it's right there on the screen for them, asking them to enter their PIN number. So that's a yes. And will they be able to locate the correct command or button? We'll say yes, the buttons are right there at the bottom, all of the numbers there. Will they know that this command will execute the action they want? I'll say yes, it's pretty obvious that pressing the numbers at the bottom will execute the action. And then will the user understand the system feedback? And we'll say yes. And then for tapping $60 on the screen to receive $60, will the user form this goal? We'll say, yep, it says right there, fast cash from checking, and it has different dollar amounts, and 60 is one of them. Will the user be able to locate the correct command or button? Yep, it's right there, very bold on the screen. Will the user know that this command will execute the action that they want? We'll say yes. $60, it's very obvious, it's right there. And then finally, will the user understand the system feedback? And at this point, the machine will start giving the money out, so we'll say yes, they'll understand. So some advantages of using the cognitive walkthrough. It's a way to evaluate the learnability of your interfaces without having to actually perform a usability lab study, which can be very costly and take a lot of time. It's very cost saving because it helps your designers connect with the mindset of their users. So as they program the interface, they're likely to do it, in such a way that it won't cause a lot of use errors. And it's still an effective tool for evaluating walk-up and use systems, or I'll say mobile apps as well, where new users need to engage in exploratory learning of their interface. Thank you very much, and thank you for listening.